Hello there, welcome to another video. Today we will see how to make comparisons using adjectives and adverbs. The form of comparatives and superlatives depends on the number of syllables in the original adjective or adverb. So, for example, let's start with adjectives. One-syllable adjectives just add er or est to their comparative or superlative form. So, high, higher, and highest, small, smaller, and smallest. We have to be careful with adjectives ending in a single consonant because that consonant doubles. So, fat, fatter, and fattest goes with double T. Sad, sadder, and saddest goes with double D. When it comes to two-syllable adjectives, we have two options. To add er or est, clever, cleverer, or cleverest, or we can add more or most without changing the adjective form. So, clever, more clever, or most clever. Narrow can be narrower, narrowest, or more narrow, or most narrow. This choice will depend on which form is the most used. Okay? Be careful with two-syllable adjectives ending in y. We change the y for an I. Easy, easier, easiest, happy, happier, and happiest. Adjectives with three syllables or more only take the more and most forms. So, experienced, more experienced, most experienced. Inconvenient, more inconvenient, most inconvenient. Be careful because there are irregular forms, such as good, better, and best, bad, worse, and worst, little, less, least, much, more, most, far, further or farther, and furthest or farthest. Now, how do we use the comparative or superlative forms? We use the comparative form to compare two nouns, and we form it like this. A noun, that is the subject, plus a verb, plus the comparative adjective, plus than, plus another noun that will be the object. So, my SUV is more reliable than your Jeep. We use the superlative form to compare one noun to a group of nouns, and we form it like this. Noun, that is a subject, plus a verb, plus the, plus superlative adjective, plus noun, that will be the object. His flat is the most luxurious home on the state. To say that two things are at the same level, we use this form. As plus adjective plus as. She finds doing physics as challenging as solving math equations. That is the same as saying physics and equations are equally challenging. To say one thing is less than another, we use not so or not as plus adjective plus as. So, the party's majority in parliament is not so substantial as before, or is not as substantial as before. To say one thing is more or less than another, we use less for comparatives and least for superlatives plus an adjective. This coat is less expensive than the other one. We are comparing we are comparing two coats. This coat is the least expensive coat in the shop. We are comparing the coat with all the other group of coats that are in the shop. Now, let's go to adverbs. Be careful, there are also irregular comparisons, like well, better, and best, badly, worse, and worst. To say that we do one thing the same as the other, we use this form, as plus adverb plus as. She dresses as elegantly as a fashion model. To say we do one thing differently from another, we use this form, not so or not as plus adverb plus as. He doesn't adapt to new situations as rapidly as his peers. We can use words and phrases with comparative forms to express large and small differences. These are some ways of expressing a large difference. Much, far, a lot, plus adjective or adverb. Acts of kindness in that century were much rarer than nowadays. Not nearly as plus adjective or adverb plus as. The study of genetics is not nearly as well developed as we would wish. By far plus a superlative form. Surprisingly, the common pizza is by far the most authentic dish in Italy. One of the most plus superlative plus infinitive. Amazingly, one of the filthiest parts of the human body is the mouth, which has 600 different types of bacteria living in it. These are some ways of expressing a small difference. Slightly, a bit, a little, plus adjective or adverb. Because of the new gambling law, people spend slightly less time in casinos than they did in the past. Not quite as, plus adjective or adverb, plus as. The launch of the new product was not quite as successful as anticipated. Okay, that was it. If you need a topic for me to explain, please leave your request in the comments, and thanks for watching.